Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Chakra Wisdom Tarot by Tori Hartman. Sometimes I have to look at the back of the box to see it, just so I make sure I say it right. For the support of Oracle cards, the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Groovy, groovy, groovy. Libra. Libra, Libra, Libra. I'm all happy about that. Like, Libra, Libra, Libra. Y'all having a good time? What's going on? I like that energy. Oh, I want to see what's under that. Where are we going, Libra? Okay. Got a lot of animal oracle cards out. How complicated is this going to get? I haven't had this deck very long, but it's already starting to like peel. Like, for the love of Pete. That's annoying. Alright. Going into this, energy seems good. Whale spirit. I like the whale spirit. It says, trust the great mystery. Okay. That's fine. I'm getting like a family atmosphere. When I feel whale, I feel like people looking out for each other. And I feel like when you have the whale card, it means like you've got a lot of people you're looking out for. A lot of people you make sure that they're okay, that they stay in range, that they're not going off on their own too far. You know, that everybody's looked out for. It's a very inclusive feel. You know, I feel like you communicate very well with these people. That's how this is starting. There's a lot of gratitude with that. You seem to be getting a very positive vibe back towards you. People know you're looking out for them. You keep them in arms. You keep them in reach. You don't force them to stay right next to you, but if they get too far out of sight, you go looking for them and bring them back in. You know, it's fine. Now, this seems like this is how this situation has been going for a while. You know, you keep an eye on things get a little out of balance, you put them back in balance. Stereotypical for Libra, I know. But still, like, you seem to be looking out for a lot of people. It just seems like you're looking out for people. You're like, whoa, where are you going? I can barely see you. Come back, come back, come back. I feel like that's going on a lot. Seems fine. I don't see any really hubbub with that. So that's been happening, but now, keeping with the whale spirit, when the Ace of Wands comes in, it's almost like summer's coming in. And it's kind of like, oh, the water temperature is changing. We should go over this way or that way. It's a lot warmer now. Let's migrate over to this place. Not a problem. What are we seeing with this? It's changes. It's definitely like the Ace of Wands, it's changes, but it feels like, especially when I'm keeping with the whale spirit, I just feel like it's when this time of year comes around or when this moment comes around, it's something that happens at this time of year, or it's like a cyclical thing. It happens. Like, it seems like a cycle. The opportunity comes in. It's time for this to start. Here's the action, moving it forward. Okay. You've been through this before. You've got the canary spirit with the armadillo spirit. I'm not going to look at the words under them. I'll read them in a minute. But the armadillo is telling me, like, you're keeping it on point. You're keeping it together. You're still looking out for other people. And the canary spirit is like you're communicating, and you're very nice about how you're communicating things. But you're like, all right, here we go into this again. We're going this way. Make sure, look out for each other. Have a buddy system. And when you're keeping a look out for each other, make sure you keep in contact with me so I make sure you know where you are. So I know everybody's doing well. It feels good. Armadillo says set healthy boundaries. Canary is sing your own song. I mean, if you want that, do what you want with it. But I'm feeling like you're being very good and very courteous with how you're talking, but keeping a very protective eye over things. I know you know what to expect, and I see like that's what you're doing with it. Okay. Things move forward very strongly. I don't think this is a shock for you. You got Rhino with Wolf. There's a lot. See, even though this is a cyclical thing, there's new things that are added in every time is what I'm getting. Even though this is the type of thing that happens cyclically, it's always a little bit different. Sometimes there's different players in the situation that need to be brought up to speed. Sometimes there's people who've been in the situation a little too long and just don't seem to move forward with the changes like they need to. You know how to deal with the people who've been around too long. Might be more difficult to deal with actually than anything else because they might be a bit stubborn. But the situation's moving forward. People are trying to help each other. Things seem fine here. Not seeing a problem with that. Cool. The dolphin is in the environment. This always speaks of love to me. It says this and that are true. I don't know. When I see dolphin, I see love. I see a lot of loving atmosphere. I see, even though it's only one dolphin on here, I feel like this is a very community effort. There's a lot of people getting along, but I also feel like this is, when I'm seeing the wolf, the dolphin by itself and the wolf and the rhino, somebody's kind of jetting off on their own and they're just saying, I'm breaking outside these boundaries. I'm going off the way I want to. And then they're waiting to see what you're going to do with it. The seahorse on this one does actually hit for me. It says watch and wait. They're waiting to see how that's going to affect you. It's almost like they're messing with you a little bit. Oh, there's another card behind it. Groundhog. Time to let go. I feel like they're looking to break away. And they're waiting to see if they're going to be able to do it. Somebody's breaking away here. When that happens, somebody is breaking away, definitely. When that happens, the hermit happens in the environment. I don't understand why they're kind of holding back as if you're going to stop them, because I don't see that really happening. But I understand, like, there's a lot of people wondering, like, what's going on here? What's going to happen next? I also see you kind of holding back and responding to that. Kind of like, all right, they're trying to pull you into a conversation, but you're like, they've already made their choice. What am I supposed to say about it? They've done something. It's almost like somebody who's like, it's almost like having a child that's 18 and all of a sudden they move in with their partner and they've done it. And you're just kind of like, well, what do you want me to say about it? You've done it. You're an adult now. I can't drag you home. Like, what do you want me to do about it? What do you expect me to say about it? That's the energy I'm feeling from that. I mean, take that with a grain of salt, just an analogy, but that's the energy I'm feeling. And it could be a work situation too, where somebody's done something. Maybe they've changed departments or they've done this or done that. But it's done, and you're like, well, what am I supposed to say about it? What do you want from me? Like, I don't understand. You don't really care for it with the Four of Cups, but it's not the worst thing at the same time. There's not a lot of communication here. You're kind of feeling bad about whatever the change is, because it's kind of like you weren't really wanting that to happen. Let's do that. And the outer spirit says you're never alone. It's kind of like, I don't think you're the only one that didn't really like this change. But don't take it as a personal attack. I'm getting that too. This person made choices that they want, and so they're going for it. Don't take it as a personal attack. They're saying that. Don't take it that way. It's kind of what I'm getting from that card. I'm going to kind of leave it there because I'm not seeing anything else. I do see you, though, opening the door of communication again. It seems like the situation has to settle a little bit. Then I see you kind of moving forward with communication. Yawns are a trigger for me to show negativity or uneasy information, uneasy energy, whatever. You know what I mean. Ace of Swords is telling me you don't really like the situation, but you're trying to be very diplomatic on what you say. You're not looking to make things rough. But you do open the door to communication. You're met with the Eagle Spirit on the other side, very strong too. This is like a very Ace of Swords feeling too. The Spirit has your back, but what I'm getting, like, Eagle is a very strong air symbol. Very strong air symbol. Very strong communication coming back and forth. You deal with it when you have to deal with it. There might be something you have to handle with this situation. Like, you got to come forward and deal with something here is what I'm getting with the Ace of Swords. And you know it. You go forward. You're met with very strong reply. Somebody's saying, well, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've already done. I'm on my own. I'm going for it. And you're acknowledging that. The situation seems to just move forward after that. Whatever this person wanted, They got what they wanted and they moved on. I don't see you really kind of like... You got the Skunk Spirit and the Scarab Spirit. These are two cards in this deck where sometimes they're not met with the most joy. But with the Skunk Spirit, it says to know your own worth. The Scarab, it says magic works through you. Magic works through you. It's almost like, it's kind of like the Magician card sometimes. It has an air of mystery to it, in my opinion, too. But the Skunk Spirit, even though it says knowing your own worth, but also like, almost like you're like feeling like the skunk. Like, are people avoiding me now? What else is going to happen next? Who else is going to abandon ship? What else do I have to keep an eye out for? Kind of just feeling like the oddball out is kind of what I'm feeling with the skunk here. But also, like they're saying, the Scarab says, be careful. If you start believing you're the oddball, out, you might make yourself the oddball out. Be careful of that. This is kind of like advice situation. You're feeling this way after this because whatever this happened here, you don't really care for it. You might be feeling a little kind of like unsure of yourself a little for some reason. What's actually happening in the situation is they're saying this needed to change. Justice is saying that person will get what they're supposed to get. Doesn't mean good, bad, or indifferent, but they were supposed to move on at this point. Just realize that they were supposed to move on at this point. The Seven of Wands is like, just hold yourself together and realize your next moment will come forward. Nothing is really lost here. Things have changed, but things do change on occasion. Just keep communication open with what's going on. Sometimes these things happen. For some reason, the way this played out, it seems to like have hurt you. Kind of like you almost took it like a personal attack is what I'm getting. They're saying, don't let that happen to you. Deal with the information, write it down if you have to, and then burn it or get rid of it. Let it go. Do whatever you have to do to process through the moment. Don't let it like seep in, because if you really make yourself feel bad about it, you might create a situation that you might be creating a reality that you don't want. That's what I'm really getting with the Scarab. They're like, be careful of what you create. Don't let these negative feelings seep in too deeply, because it will start gravitating around you, and you don't need that. The situation is better than you think. At the end here, I do feel like that's the message. The situation is better than you think. Just pull yourself up. Don't don't beat yourself up about this, whatever it is. It was what it was. It moved on. But then, put it away and let it go and move forward to the next. Realize your own value. You're still strong. You're still very purposeful. You're still very needed. Whatever happened there, happened there. All right, moving on from it. Keep going forward. All right, I think we're done. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.